Hey everybody, this is Jim at SP500chart.com using time-honored techniques to understand modern markets and featuring daily technical analysis videos of the S&P 500 index. Just need to remind you that the website and the video are for educational purposes only. Nothing stated at the site or in this video is intended to be used as investment advice. Look, I can draw lines on charts, but you have to draw your own conclusions from your own research and make investment decisions that are suitable for your personal financial situation. I'm not a licensed financial professional. I'm just a guy who draws lines on charts. So let's take a look. Okay, this chart is a little bit of a mishmash of all kinds of lines. I've actually had some people complain, saying, I can't make any sense out of all that chicken scratch on the page when you do the videos. And to which I would reply, just pay attention, and I think it's not really as complicated as it looks. Basically, each one of these lines is a trend line. A trend line is a line that's drawn over a series of bottoms or a series of tops. For example, we've got a trend line here under these bottoms. We've got a trend line over these tops. It broke out, started a new trend channel. We drew a line over the tops and under the bottoms again. When that finally broke, it started a trend down. Then it started a fairly long trend up. Now, we were talking about whether we thought this was a rising wedge that would be a bearish pattern, or if this is simply a rising channel. And guys, the jury's still out on that. That almost sounded like Ron Paul. You know, the jury's still out on that. So anyway, the jury is still out on it because, and it really doesn't matter so much. We'll talk about some of the finer distinctions. But both of these lines broke. So the wedge broke, back tested, came back down, broke the bottom of the ascending channel. That back tested yesterday, got over that at the open today, then got hit back down fairly hard, gave up the gains pretty quickly, and now it looks like it's just kind of a slow rally back. Frankly, this looks like it's probably going to work as a small bear flag. Now, famous last words, maybe, maybe not. But, you know, I got to call it as I see it. That was a pretty swift downward motion there. And now we've got this little guy going up like this. You can see we've got 2 touches on the bottom, 2 touches on the top. And there's my phone ring. And we'll get back to that bear flag in just a second. Okay. We were talking about this potential bear flag. Well, it's just kind of how it looks right now. And if we also draw a line over this top back here on the 26th and the top that was put in this morning, it looks to me like this is a bear flag, but the overall pattern could be one of 2 things as I view it right now. If we go strictly by these bottoms, and we've got enough bottoms here to draw this line, we've got 1, 2, 3 touches on that, and if we go by this bottom and then the line that's drawn over these last 2 tops, we end up with what looks to be a descending wedge, which kind of makes sense in the grand scheme of things because we are still looking at an inverse head and shoulders pattern that broke out, has not really pulled back to this breakout area, which actually would be one of 2 places. I'm going to show you in just a second. According to John McGee of Edwards and McGee, Technical Analysis of Stock Trends, you trade a head and shoulders pattern, whether it's inverted or standard, whether it's a continuation pattern, whether it's a bottom or whether it is a standard head and shoulders top. This is an inverted head and shoulders. You play that pattern thusly. You take your position at one of 3 places. It is either on a return to the neckline, which would be a return to the 1270s level, or it is a return to the line drawn from the extreme end of the head across the right shoulder. Okay, so that gives us a new line right here that is actually just that is a rising line. Okay, right here. But we've also got another rising line that is in green, and I'll show that to you. That is drawn over the October 3rd lows, and then again over the late November lows. And that has about 3 tests on it. So you can see that this little pattern that we're looking at here looks like it's gearing up for a test of support. And the good news for the bulls is there is a good reason to expect support, not too far under where we are right now. And if this pattern keeps doing its thing, then we could be looking at just kind of a slow sideways to down grind for the next week or so, or until this top line gets taken out, and then probably another attack on this blue line right here, which is a very technically significant level, I believe. And I'll remind you what that is in just a second. So right now it looks like the S&P has said, you know, we've kind of run out of steam on this leg up off of the low 1200s. So we're gonna go sideways, maybe sideways down for a bit, and see if we can consolidate and set up a continuation pattern that would lead to a retest of this blue line right here. Now let's look at that blue line for just a second. We have to go to a 3-day chart in order to see what the significance of this line is. And the significance of it is this. It is a line that is drawn over the all-time S&P 500 high in late 2007, and also over the high of 2011. Now, I'm showing you this because both of these were pretty clearly defined tops. This was a Head and Shoulders top. This was also a Head and Shoulders top. So I would think that this line, one would think this line would be pretty strong resistance, okay? But if it is taken out, then I think we should then look at this line as becoming pretty strong support. And if that is taken out, we also have to ask ourselves, is this market telling us that it wants to go back and retest those highs that were that come from the 2000s and the 2007 levels? As a matter of fact, let's just add another line here. We'll draw a line over these. It's so close to being horizontal, I've just been using a horizontal line. Tell you what, why booger up the chart any more than it has to be? We're just going to leave it right there. But you can see that it almost looks as if there's a possibility that this market wants to mount enough effort to get up there and test this high again. And if it does that, we want to have some trigger point at which we start to think to ourselves, I'm kind of expecting that to happen. And I think clearly the first thing that has to happen is we got to get over this line of resistance that has clearly marked the last two tops. So that's kind of what we're looking at right here. This market, if we're getting into this converging of that line and then also this line on the bottoms here. So it's going to be very interesting over the next year or so to see what shakes out in this market. I will remind you also that our inverse Head and Shoulders right here, and I will draw a circle around the entire pattern just so you'll know what I'm talking about, unmistakably so. there is the Head and Shoulders. It looks like the S&P wanted to make one right here, but just got a little ahead of itself. So it came back and now has made this pattern. I believe we still need to respect this pattern because so far it has been working. It has a target that is, by definition, cannot be reached without taking out that blue line. So this is really interesting. We have a medium term, shall we say, as far as the time frame is concerned. We've got a fairly short term inverse Head and Shoulders that's pointing to a breakout over that long-term resistance line. So this is really, really interesting stuff. Look, appreciate you taking time to watch this video. Let's see what tomorrow brings us. Today, well, down 0.02% according to the BATS exchange. So look, thanks for watching the video, and thanks for being a subscriber. I want to give you a quick heads up. Tomorrow, Wednesday, is the 1st of February. More than likely that tomorrow's video will be quite late. Okay? I'm traveling, and I'm not sure that I'm going to have a chance to get one done until possibly even after midnight. So just want to give you a heads up on that. There will be a video, well, assuming that the internet connection where I am is working. If it is not working, then it should be working. But if it's not working, if there is no video, it will be because for some technical reason I simply could not get one uploaded. So keep your fingers crossed. Look, take care. Thanks again for watching.